play and, make fun of them when they screw up and all that stuff. You guys know.
Gonna be plenty of that here, I'm sure. Gonna be plenty of that, of course.
Let's hope so.
You know a lot about, well, I'm sure all these players even. Again, Sync versus ECX here, especially on the Sync side. But real quickly before we get too much into this draft here, we do notice Evil Corporation, they are using a ringer here. Baboon Slayer. Now, we after a little bit of investigating, we did find out that it's actually TP's Priceless over there on their side. So he's stepping in here for Evo Corporation. So important to note, but yeah, they got that going for them here. Anyways, we got the draft underway here. As far as what we're looking at, let's take a look initially. It was Midas, Warbeast, Ophelia, and Lord Salforus. With Parasite into Tundra. Interesting response there. Sandwraith into Glacius. Pharaoh into Magebane coming out here. So, what do you think, Insania? What do you think about these picks here?
To be completely honest, I'm not super into the meta. I don't know exactly how people think and what they're up to, but based off my previous knowledge and just looking at it straight up, I like where ECX is headed with this draft, to be honest. I think the Tundra pick is really smart from Slap, but I don't know how well it works against Parasite. It's always been something that's, it can go both ways, it could end up hurting you a lot depending on how well Parasite plays, but Tankafet is not here. That's like the big thing that I'm noticing right away. And Tankafet, I think, is a really big part of their team's success because he does so much. Like, he's really good at making good calls and like pushing them to be more aggressive. I think otherwise, the ECX can be very like static and just wait and let the other team like do whatever they want. So I'm a little bit worried because of that. But just looking at pure drafts, not thinking about the tank is not here, I kind of like where Reason's headed. I think the Sandwraith is really good with dealing with Magebane, especially if you think about the early game. Magebane blinks, you just instantly Sandwraith ult. That gives you 6 seconds of hitting the Magebane. So it's a good tool to answer like the Magebane blink. And I think if Sandwraith can keep up and farm, he's one of the better carries to just deal with Magebane split pushing and all that stuff in general. So the big question for him will be, can he stay on par and farm? And like for Magebane, it's just like try to outfarm everyone. If he can do that, he's gonna dominate.
Yeah, Sandwraith, we definitely have been seeing a lot of it. But in fact, these two carries, I mean, again, we're kind of going over kind of a list as far as carries that we've seen lately. It's honestly been Sandwraith, Magebane, and Salamon is even the other one. I think Maka Brilliance, especially for Sandwraith and Salamon, have kind of been the openers. And then Magebane, I guess just in general where the meta's at. I mean, people liking these really short lane, hard carries that sure need a bit of time, but eventually are pretty ridiculous once they get that farm. So, yeah, not too surprised on the Sandwraith especially. Pebbles coming out for ECX, so continuing some aggression there.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting pick. It might even be like a block pick just to make sure that Mickey doesn't get it. Because, I mean, we all remember Mickey Pebbles, right? It can't be any worse now than it used to be.
It's still pretty good, yeah.
It's still pretty good, I can imagine. Man, I'm loving where Sync is headed with this draft. I don't know if I've been playing too much Dota 2, but the heroes and the synergy right now, it just screams TDM to me. Wild Soul, Magebane, just like go late game. But I'm assuming it's a Wild Soul jungle, right? That's what you guys
play. I want to honestly, he seems like he's banned more than picked, which is kind of fun.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the fact that they even get him here fourth is pretty crazy. But usually he would be in the jungle, I would say, as of late. So. Wow.
All right. It's interesting. Oh, wow. Yeah, Vindy looks so cool. I remember I mentioned this the one time I was playing. So he just went into tournament rules, correct?
Vindicator came in he was the latest batch of heroes. I think him, Raviter, Keeper of the Forest. Yeah, so I don't know how familiar you are with the changes that happened to Vindicator.
No idea.
Okay, he's honestly pretty different than what he used to be. He still has some similarities, but I think the biggest thing is his Q. He's back to Sage's Lore, where it's just upfront magic damage, but it also disarms the target, so you got that aspect now that's brought to you. His W is now, the damage is actually multiplied. It does more if the target is silenced, which then synergies with the passive. It's that glyph still that you could put down, but it's kind of reworked to do a little bit differently. It also slows him on top of that. And then the ultimate, you get charges now, and it can be a different cooldown depending on how many charges he got changed.
What do you think about Vindicator, Breaky? Good change? Bad change?
I think it's still early. We have not seen enough of it. I think it was for the better, definitely. It's a direction. But this hero's been through so much abuse, man, as far as changes. I just don't know if they'll ever find like the right answer for him. But hey, ECX likes him here. as a carry.
Yeah.
Even no, that would make sense.
I think it's a
Okay.
support. I think it's a support.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
He was on Imba Boy there, and I'm like, what?
Mm. So
All
I
right.
think the game is it's interesting looking at these two drafts for me because obviously the meta is way different. I can tell right away. There's very much less damage, just like straight up ability damage picked up. So the games will most probably drag out. I feel because of just how the picks are made. Probably won't have too many team fights going on. It'll be more of this slow pace kind of pick off push, like split push kind of meta, where it boils down to this one big fight, which sets up who's gonna get out ahead. And I think just looking at the drafts, if Ziba does fine in the off lane, which I really feel like he should, um, Tundra should be so good in a game like this, which is just slow paced. He can use a bird to control the pace. They can basically decide who's gonna go where, what's gonna happen, and that should allow like them to shut down the Sandrate's farm. I really feel like I like where Sync is headed with this. Good draft by Slap.
Pulled it off pretty well, yeah. Again, I'm still honestly a little surprised at getting a 4th pick Wild Soul with how powerful he is considered as that hero, especially with a player like Zlap, in that jungle. You would think that could be very ban-worthy, but in fact, looking back at it, what did they ban? They banned Solstice, Magmus, and Kraken. Interesting. So they still needed a jungler, and they banned only the Solstice out of those. I guess. Yeah, did not think about the Wild Soul there. Probably the Kraken even over it, which has been making a little bit of a comeback, to be fair. But anyways, yeah, getting that, they got the second carry option. That, and as you're pointing out, plenty of lockdown. So yeah, this support Vindicator though, we have seen a couple of teams actually try this, but there's still the obvious downside. I mean, yes, he went through a lot of these reworks, but the biggest thing is still the fact he doesn't have a stun. He's not a stunning support. So that right there, it's kind of takes away a bit. I mean, you obviously have plenty of experience. So what would you think as a support player, like the idea that a hero doesn't have any kind of stun at all, does that concern you?
It depends on the lineup. I feel like in the old meta where it was like really high paced, you're fighting a lot, that kind of a thing matters a lot because it helps you set up the plays the way you want them to, and it helps you control the team fights. And Vindicator would just be a hero that he just isn't like mobile enough, not fast enough. He can't fight as frequently as other heroes can. But if the game paces and like in the right speed, it shouldn't matter too much that he doesn't have that stun in the early game. But I'm a little bit worried about the laning phase, to be completely honest. Uh,
Yeah.
I feel like ECX they're just not setting up any lanes to win. I feel they're really relying on this parasite to win them like lanes. I feel, and it could be troublesome depending on how Sync set up their wards. I think this is like very crucial. If they set up their vision properly, so Parasite can't get any good rotations, I think they're off to like they're just going to be farming in every single lane except maybe bottom, where Ziba should be able to get experience against the Vindicator Sandwraith.
Yeah, as far as the lanes are looking like right now, it seems like that's going to be the case. I mean, pretty typical when it comes down to it, as Ziba is heading down there, sure enough, on that Tundra, of course. So, yeah, they are setting up to be the defensive pseudo-tri lane, you could say. But, yeah, maybe Tundra can expect to get some decent farm out of it. Vindicator is heading up top, actually, initially, though. He does have the ward of sight. Probably just going to look to place it here before heading back bottom.
TPS priceless if it is him. He loves this one ward where you place it on like on the Hellborn side, right where he's standing, like the opposite side of there. That he will always ward there at 0 minutes. That's like one of his things. He used to always do that. So he warded on his own side this time. But yeah, like that spot he almost always has warded. I think it'll be interesting to see what Ziba does with the Hawk. Because I think he can. Oh, Shiver. He can block a camp with it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say that, haven't we been through changes of that to history? So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure now. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's what he's going to be doing. And hopefully this ward that he places I think is going to be so crucial. And I love this by Slapped. He's pulling the way for him, so this is going to give him a great start. That's like level 3 already because of how lane control is going to mess up. Mm-hmm. I like this ward. Hopefully it'll work out. If it doesn't get countered, I really like it. This is actually really well executed, how he catches the wave right away as Slap's jungle camp spawn, so he doesn't lose any time there. This is looking really good. I like how they're setting this up.
Yeah, definitely on point from the beginning, no doubt. I mean, fair off the bat, too. He's feeling the pressure of that Glacius and the Mage Bane. Now, Mage Bane, no mana burn just yet. He actually hasn't even leveled anything yet. But obviously, that's going to be something that Pharaoh's going to have to continue to deal with here at this top. So Zane does play a great Pharaoh. I mean, he has plenty of history on it, and one of the few, if really the only one, frankly, on the scene right now that plays it. But it still doesn't mean it's bound to be good, especially in a matchup like this, because again, it is difficult with what he's going up against. So. Bottom lane, yeah, he got the pull off, so Tundra able to hit level 2 right away, which is pretty important.
Yeah.
And look at that, he sends a Shiver back. Okay, I guess he missed the next block here, but he's going to get the 2-minute block at this rate. So
yeah.
If it stays alive long enough, yeah, maybe not, but he's going to try.
No, I think it blocked the 1-minute spawn, didn't it?
I don't.
Not there.
Wait, you're right. Something. Oh, you know what? So it must have died and then he respawned. That's probably what happened. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's just going to keep on that then.
So I think this is a good start. Like it's smart actually by ACX. They just said whatever, give Tundra space bottom. He's gonna get it anyways. Let's just make sure we get the Pebbles blink. And I think this is two things which are like super positive. In general, when I drafted for Sync, making sure, I think everyone knew this, but making sure Mickey gets his blink early on was always the goal, because he's a beast when he has the blink, and it's just a different game when you get the blink 5 minutes later. So I really want Sync to do this thing where they start off their support top with the Glacius right now, and then at the 2-minute mark, he goes for the top rune, but also rotates over to mid, and they set up a dual lane there to start securing farm on the Meraxes, because it's obviously not working out right now. He's not getting the amount of farm that they were hoping that he would get. And yeah, I really think rotating over Glacius is super key here to make sure that they set up everything to win. Because right, Mageman's going to do fine against Pharaoh. Pharaoh's low on regen, Mageman's just going to be farming. Pharaoh might try to harass him, but Mageman's always going to get his farm here, so
yeah.
No reason to keep Glacius up there.
Makes sense. Now, it's actually interesting pointing out about the middle lane right here. You do see Vindicator with a skill build. Now, we've been over this before, actually, but to reiterate, you get the W from the beginning just so simply you can get the charges, because you actually get 1 intelligence whenever a hero dies, as it explains there now as well, so yet another kind of change to the hero. But you do not get the auto attack form of it. You just simply get it, but it's grayed out. Now, when you level it, you can obviously start using it, and a reason why you'd want to do that is because it doesn't draw aggro from the creep wave. So as a support,
Exactly.
you can use that to harass, in this case, the Meraxes. So it is actually a pretty interesting idea of Vindicator taking advantage of that. And, I mean, again, can you help really like stress and explain like how important that actually is? Because we've seen this now on several support Vindicators with that idea.
There's a huge smile on my face right now, Breaky. That was the one thing I was going to say when he started talking about it, that it doesn't give aggro, and I just feel proud. I'm like, wow.
I've learned
Breaky,
after all this time.
Man, that is so key though. It does so much, because if you look at Vindy right now, he doesn't normally. One of the like most irritating things as a support is when basically the Meraxes is trying to creep drag the wave towards him, so that if you try to hit Meraxes, you'll get creep aggro on you, and then you have to run away, and you won't get more than 1 hit, and that's basically nothing. So when you have this Master's Incantation, it allows Vindy to harass him freely, and the bonus damage is good, but it's more about, like you said, the creep aggro, and it's really a big deal. I think it's a big part of why Mickey isn't getting that much mid is that. So it's a smart move from ECX. I really like how they're playing this out.
Yeah.
Haster in top.
Oh, Meraxes, but you look at the top, Pharaoh's already fallen back. He's not going to give them that option. They see it, of course, so yeah, he'll head back mid.
So here's exactly, like, if Sync would have played out what I wanted them to do, where Glacius rotates for that 2-minute rune top, it's a haste. That would have almost guaranteed been a kill mid, because they wouldn't expect it, you know? Whenever the other team gets a haste at 2 minutes and they kill you, we called it the Z-Freak rune.
Yeah.
Because they would always get haste. It hurts so much, and then the Meraxes is suddenly, like, back to even with the Pebbles, and it just doesn't feel good, because he has a level advantage from being a solo. So I think Sync they're kind of not utilizing their heroes as effectively as they could be. Like, they baited Glacius, and he's a fantastic dual laner with Meraxes mid. So I'm not quite sure why he's staying top.
Oh, bottom lane, Tundra, by the way, in a lot of trouble right here. Very likely a bloodlust. I don't know if Zibe's getting out of this one. He has support coming to Glacius, but yeah, there's no way at that point. Just too many paths that, couldn't actually escape right there. Imbo Boy, credit for the bloodlust kill on top of that. Kind of caught that halfway through, but it looks like Parasite coming in with some kind of clear. What happened? Oh, they're trying to bug over the cliff. Look at that. Pharaoh will actually accomplish it. Definitely some cheese coming out right here. And actually, they're going to chase down Glacius. Is this actually a kill? Oh my gosh, it is. And then Pharaoh gets it even. He's the one that did that. Now, to be fair, even without Pharaoh, I think that still was a kill, but still.
It doesn't matter, though. The fact that they went for it, oh, such a reason. I'm sorry, it's such an ECX play. It's so typical of them.
Hey,
As
play to
Mick
win.
is caught mid.
Yeah, he's in trouble. W, he's going to stop right there. I guess a W at this point wouldn't do anything and actually survive, so never mind.
Yeah. And bottom lane again, Zib is in trouble. He's overextending where he should be, and I think it's going to result in his death. Oh?
I mean, it
No,
has to be, yeah. There's no portal key or anything like that, so he ain't getting away from there again. So, yeah, especially with Farrell being down there. Zane's kind of rotated now, realizing that, okay, you got a little bit maybe top, but, oh, middle lane, Mickey does actually go down. So Glacius is here now, but sure enough, they're able to still combo down Mickey on more access. So ECX finding a groove here, 4-0 all of a sudden.
Yeah, this is looking really good for them, and I think their entire game right now, it relied on the Parasite getting those rotations off, and it's worked out. I feel like a lot of these rotations, wouldn't have happened if Sync had their vision placed a little bit differently. I feel like the top Rune Ward just hasn't been doing anything. Zane is known to do these rotations where he just leaves the top lane as soon as he feels like, okay, I'm not going to get anything. It's whatever. I'm just going to go help Boy get farm. So I'm a little bit surprised Sync didn't expect this and didn't like ward for it better. But I also feel like the Glacier's not rotating. It's hurting them so much right now. It's given Pebbles so much farm that now he's like an ungankable target for them. They don't have the damage to bring him down without Tundra ult. And oh wow, he's going for a kill again.
Again, Moraxis, he's now level 6. The chuck though, he chucked the illusion. Instead of Moraxis, that was awkward timing with Sandwraith coming in. It's still going to get a kill on Glacius at least, but a little unfortunate because, could have maybe, he still probably would have lived to be fair. But it still looked funny that hit the illusion right there. So, but again, good movement from Sandwraith. Now, I got to stress this though. I mean, you look at the GPM, look at Wild Soul. In fact, he actually just got Alchemist Bones as well, by the way. So he does have that way to now take care of Parasite and also a nice farming tool that he happens to pick up.
Freaking Zlap, always farming like a beast, letting Mickey suffer in mid. You don't know how many conversations we've had about this in Sync. Like,
well, that's Wild Soul though. I mean, there were not a lot he could do, to be fair.
No, I agree. But this is very typical Slap. I'm not surprised. I'm honestly not surprised he's at 460.
Yeah.
6 minutes into the game, it might be a little bit early for this kind of farm, but it's Slapped after all. Like, what can you say?
Yeah.
He's a beast at this. But yeah, no, I think I don't know though. I don't know how much it's gonna do because I'm not exactly sure on how Wild Soul plays out after the changes. But unless he's able to somehow secure space for their mid, I feel like it's just like, what is Moraxis gonna do? This is a hero that really he's gonna need to sit there and farm his blink. And if Pebbles gets blink too early, he's too squishy of a target to do it, especially with the Pharaoh and the Parasite and the Sandwraith always being able to help out. So, they have farm, but I just feel like it's in the wrong places. They prioritize the wrong heroes in this game. The Glacius just should have been mid.
Yeah. Wild Soul, again, I don't know exactly, like, what Wild Soul does now is he actually built himself up instead of the bear. I think he might have still been around to know that at least.
Yeah.
To see that. So.
I mean more like his overall game plan. Like, what does he do with the farm? Because I feel like a lot of the times people focus too much on like, okay, how did the lanes go? Like, yeah, okay, they have really great farm. Oh, bottom again.
I was watching. I mean, really, that had to be a split second between porting back to base and the final auto attack going off. So, just unfortunate, did not work out in his favor. And Zibby, again, that's his third death. So, he's still managing 250 GPM, which is honestly very surprising. But dying 3 times, not good though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lane he should have like just straight up dominated. Sandwraith versus Tundra, it's not even a question. That's a Tundra favored lane. All he needed to do was not get ganked by Parasite. Oh no.
Meanwhile up there, yeah, they chase down the Glacius. Pebble's gonna, just in case, stun the Wild Soul and run away. Here comes Haste of Moraxis. Look at that, he chucks him in the air, but it's gonna delay a little bit. The disarm coming out, but there's the Matrax and gets the stop on Pebbles, but it's just too far, yeah. Man, that was a really greedy dive there from Mickey that probably wasn't gonna work in the end and didn't, so.
They just don't have the damage for that kind of a play. Like, they really have like a great farming team, and they rely on just like play it slow, make sure nothing happens, just like farm, don't die. They want static lanes. They don't want these rotations. They don't want this to happen. They want to be in control of the game by doing nothing, basically. And when kills start happening, like the Parasite gets that rotation bottom, he's like, yeah, I know how to gank. I'm really good at this game. And then he goes mid and tries the same thing, and suddenly it's like kill leads to kill leads to kill. But if Tundra avoids the first gank, the Parasite's confidence will be like lower. He won't be as confident to go for that kind of a gank.
Yeah.
As bottom lane, oh, no points in Cold Shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of ran up right there. Yeah, you're right. Without Cold Shoulder, what was the plan, man? They were not getting that kill.
Yeah. And once again, like, Mick is going down again here in the middle lane, and Sync just has no control over the game pace. It's just, right now, ECX, they can do whatever they want. None of the plays that ECX have done so far have been punished. So they feel like, we can do whatever. It doesn't matter. Sync aren't punishing us. So just go for these dives, go for these kills. It's morale in Sync's Skype chat right now probably isn't too good. Like, even though they're farming really well on 2 of their cores, it's just those 2 heroes
Yeah.
they're not gonna open up space. Like, they're not that kind of heroes, especially not in Han.
Yeah. That is an important thing to stress, though. Again, you do keep looking at the GPM, and they still have the top 2 farmers of the game. The goal difference is basically nothing here at 8-0 in favor of ECX for hero kills. So, really is interesting with that. But you do got to figure, Matthias having that portal key here coming up shortly is a big deal. You mentioned Parasite and kind of that momentum Near's able to work off, and now being 2-0-3. Fun seeing, him in a role that we don't get to usually see him play, yet doing very well here. So, and then Sandwraith, the Mock of Brilliance is coming. And in case you weren't aware, it does true damage now instead of magic damage, does the Mock of Brilliance. So, it's that much more powerful, and thus why you're like Sandwraith is even considered even more powerful now with that item. So, there you go.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun to see on him.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you're an ECX fan. And here we go. This is what I talked about. Mickey needs to be in the middle lane, but Pebbles just going to blink straight onto him, and they just walk him down with the spells.
Man. Yeah, the totem is a big deal, too, because obviously, as you see there, the radius of the totem, so if you're in that, you're silenced, of course, and so Moraxis just can't get out of it. Final Chapter was even used by Vindicator, too, so it's like a just in case
it's fine. Like, what are Sync going to do with the cooldown being down? There's just nothing, and Pharaoh up top gets caught. He's running up too fast on the trigger with his freeze, and he just mummy walls TP's out, so I feel like E6 are just outplaying Sync right now. Just they're one step ahead. They're leading the game, and Sync just aren't responding. I mean, I can see the argument that they have 2 carries, just go late game, but it's not gonna. They're not gonna have the resources to go to late game when they're just struggling so hard on all their other heroes.
Yeah. Tundra cleaning out a little bit of the Legion jungle before porting back to base, and again, just trying to find farm in places here. He's digging full steam boots, which I gotta say is a little surprising for Zibbe. Zibbe is usually really well known for going Striders into post haste eventually, especially on a hero like Tundra. But going the steam boots instead, figuring the stats are necessary here, perhaps because of the start of the game, and he did die 3 times. Figures that's more.
I think it's probably the opposite, actually. He felt like he was doing good in the lane against Sandwraith, so he wanted to go steam boots so he could dominate that lane, so he could just like make his presence felt. Because normally when you go Striders, you want to abandon the lane fairly soon and just set up plays and just go for roams, because that's when Striders are the most effective. They don't really help you too much when you're inside of the lane. So I think that's his reasoning for going for steam boots. And then like at some point it was just like, oh, I already started going steam boots.
Yeah, had to commit.
Oh well, might as well finish it. Yeah. Or the other argument that you could make is Pebbles, just straight up, like because he went Vestments as well, so he probably just doesn't want to get Pebbles comboed and killed. But I don't know. I don't like where Mick's farm is at. I just think that's the big question mark for me. Like, he's supposed to be your position 2, which is he's supposed to be the second most farmed hero on their team. But when is he going to be able to recover, and where? Like right now, he's their support player basically, next to Cormal and. Or is it Serenia now?
Serenia.
Yeah, Serenia. So I don't know. Moraxis is a hero that I really feel needs that blink as well to do stuff. He just can't do anything before he has it.
Oh yeah. And Mick is definitely one of those players. You kind of control him. It's giving yourself a pretty good chance of being successful. Sandwraith, where's he going? Well, that's a big kill. They caught Haxer, and Farrell looked like he jumped in first, and the brothers collapsed to take out Haxon right there.
Twins even.
Wait, are they twins? Hold on, they are twins. Yeah, what am I saying? For some reason, I just forgot about that right there. But I'm glad you're here to remind me. The twins.
Yeah. No, but this is what it's like. Okay, so I just got a better way to formulate my thoughts starting the entire game. So when you give farm to your carries, but you don't give farm to your gankers, what happens at some point in the game is the other team has the freedom to go for these kills because think of it like this: Magebane gets caught. Then what? Who's going to back him up? Who's going to bail him out? It's not Moraxis because he doesn't have a blink, and it's not Tundra because he doesn't have a blink. Is Wild Soul gonna bail him out? Well, Wild Soul can do damage, but he's not gonna save the Mage Bane. So at the end of the day, every gank that Reason ECX are going for is just ending up being successful. And now Mage Bane has the Rune Cleaver, and Wild Soul, I feel these two heroes, they just need to start splitting the map. They need to force Reason to be in so many places that they can't control both of them.
Yeah.
And they're gonna give away kills, but just try to outfarm them. But I think it's gonna be really hard. I think ECX, the game is going perfectly for them, as reflected by the hero stats.
Yeah, I mean, there's another one. It's 11-0 right now. I mean, you would figure this would just be completely out of control. The fact that Sync is still having at least some hope as you're getting at, maybe a split push, but no, they really are in full control right here, man.
Yeah, it's grim.
Another change I forgot to mention about Vindicator, which is actually a very important one, is the ultimate. The cooldown is now only 110 seconds. It used to be 160 seconds, I want to say. So we're looking at 50 seconds less, which is pretty big. Now, to be fair, the makeup for that is to wear like this new charge system. So the initial, when it comes off cooldown, it's actually only going to be a 2-second silence. But then the more charges you get up, it adds up, and the duration it would be eventually to 3 seconds if you don't use it for that length of time. So it's a little weaker, but still, even a 2-second silence, in this case of level 1, still pretty impactful.
Oh yeah, the silence isn't so much about the duration as it is the timing. It's about getting it at the right time. And normally the way you want to use it is either as an initiation tool where, say, Pebbles blinks in, right? He's really vulnerable to the counter initiation of the opposing team, but there's a silence, so it doesn't matter. He can just go in, combo the guy, start running out during the silence duration. And it just allows you to make a lot more brave plays, which you normally probably wouldn't been able to go for because you're afraid of getting counter initiated on.
Yeah.
So it's, like I said, more about the timing than the duration. So I don't think that's too big of a deal, to be honest.
Okay. Where's Parasite, by the way? I'm trying to figure out the puzzle box. It's got to at least be level 2. I mean, Near's had a great
He's
game
up top
here.
lane and a stealth hunter.
Okay, well, again, you can't tell until he's out, so. I want to say level 2. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it is level 2. So level 3 just around the corner here. In fact, I think he might have even purchased it, so. Yeah, his start looking very good, continuing for that matter. The Soul's Bulwark on Pebbles. So he's got more amp damage there. How about this early map control from TP's Prices? I feel like this is so him, though. Like he likes
This is so him.
Yeah.
So him. Like, if we didn't know it was priced, I would have told you right now this is 100% priceless. Yeah. One, look at his wards. This is priceless wards. They're always, like, in normal spots, but always in a weird place. Like, if you look at the 2 wards they have in the enemy jungle, that place is normally warded, but the ward is never
Bottom 5, by
there.
the way. Big fight breaking out right here. Vindicator will silence, though. Look at that. Moraxis just melts as soon as he jumps in. And Samwraith with his ultimate is going to cause some chaos as it does. Now, top tower is destroyed. Pebble is going to be able to port out, though, before he eventually goes down. Top lane, though, they do catch Mage Bane, or Pharaoh does. He is going to be able to blink away initially and will survive in the long run. But yeah, the split push, makes it a 1-for-1. They killed Parasite before that fight broke out at the top lane, actually. So they do hold the secondary tower there.
Yeah, they get away. I mean, this is honestly right now it's kind of fine. Mick is getting to his blink. I thought Reason would put on, ECX would put on a lot more aggression. It's so hard, man. In my head, it's just Reason.
Still, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they should. I feel like they could have put on way more aggression and like just moved in the Parasite into the enemy woods and Pebbles as well and just controlled it. Like, what is Sync gonna do? I just don't see any. Oh no.
No.
Axe.
Mage
Mercy.
Bane. No! Don't miss that
Only.
stun, Matthias. Oh my gosh.
He's a merciful god. He chose to let Haxer and live.
Oh my gosh, that is a big missed opportunity. Yeah. I don't know if it would have been a kill. I mean, yeah, it would have been. It definitely would have been.
Did he just blink?
He just blinked, so he did have the shield, yeah. But still.
Let's say he knew Hax wouldn't die, so he missed the stun. So he wouldn't miss the stun later when it matters.
Yeah, no, and it killed a creep, I think. So got some farm out of it.
Oh, that's what he was doing. Yeah, dude, just stealing his farm.
Yeah. It all makes sense. Now we're still trying to get to that level that Matthias is on.
Right.
There we go.
He's been there for years. We just don't know. Oh, Glacius up top. Goodbye, Serenia.
You know what? So yeah, the top lane they killed, but the support going down on either side, and that was actually very well played by Mickey because he used his W right there, the Arcane Shield, and that does actually absorb the final chapter.
Oh
used
my god.
by...
Did he really?
Yes.
That is so disgusting. What? Oh my god. He thought of that? I can't believe that.
That's pretty next level, yeah.
That's such like great presence of mind to like be like, okay, he probably knows I'm coming. He might know. So I'll just pop it before I jump him. Oh, it's disgusting. Disgusting. But yeah, smoked up now, rotating into the Legion jungle. Not really anything to be found there.
Yeah. They want Sand Wraith, but I think he's going to fall back in time.
I love this build, by the way. I don't know if it's standard, but so when we just came back from Thailand last year, about a year ago exactly, they taught us like, dude, refresher on Sand Wraith is insane, and it didn't really become meta for a long time. And I remember I used to play pub games and just go it all the time and just win, because there's this abuse. I don't know if it's been fixed or not, but if you pop the Resto Stone right after you use your Mirage, technically you have no abilities on cooldown because the Mirage ability changes out for something else. So your Resto Stone gets a 30-second cooldown, so you can ulti every 30 seconds.
That's not the case, but this is the core build.
Okay. So that's been fixed.
I want to say yes, because honestly, I've never seen the ultimate on a 30-second, or the Resto Stone for that matter, on a 30-second cooldown. It feels like it's always on like that max duration, really. So.
Because we definitely did it at DreamHack. I'll let you know. We for sure abused that at DreamHack.
If you won DreamHack, you might not be saying that, right?
No, of course not. Then it would be my little secret. But no, yeah.
Okay, on that point, though, just to be clear on that, yes, it is considered the core build. Imbaboy actually kind of brought it, and so it sounds like, even Thailand making it a thing, and then that's become the standard. The Mach especially first, into the Resto Stone. Staff of the Master in a lot of cases, too, people actually like to go on top of that. By the way, Pebbles, though, getting caught up here at the top lane. Final chapter was used. Sand Wraith, whoa, that's a little scary. He is going to be able to get out with Parasite here as well, but Parasite going down on top of that. So now the Legion team in retreat. And now Vindicator, the Mana Rift. It secures the kill. Double tap for Slapped. And, well, Sync is all of a sudden not looking too shabby here.
Yeah, Sync is back, man. Sync's back. No, this is really good. I feel like, so, Mickey got Blink. 5 minutes later, they have 5 kills. That's like infinite % more kills than they had before Mickey got Blink.
It is.
But no, I don't know what Matthias was thinking. Like, looking for a dive so close to their base? Ooh. But Sync was ready for it. They had all their heroes there already. There was no need to like, oh guys, let's TP in, because that's 3 seconds, which could have been game-breaking. They had the heroes there, they were ready. Slap just ran in like a beast and smacked them to death. So that was really good. I like where the game is headed. Mickey also swapping up his build, being like, dude, I'm not gonna be a threat. No point in going treads, just get striders and look for kills. Yeah. So I like how Sync has adapted to the situation they were put in, but I still don't think they started the game off the way. They didn't need to be this way. They could have had 100 GPM less on hacks 5 minutes ago and put it on Mick instead. So.
Yeah, I mean, Imbaboy is still looking up there, and again, Resto Stone on top of the Mach. It's still a very dangerous combination to be going up against. I mean, that's going to be an issue for sure, but yeah, the Wild, so I'm really interested to see what he buys here, because, again, Wildstorm, we really don't see him a whole lot, but even when we do, it just changes from game to game, it feels like. So even this, the Alkbones first, that's not typical, but again, Parasite, it makes a little more sense. So where is he going? I don't know. I mean, I guess, do they need a Demonic still? Souls in a Demonic? Yeah, I guess it could be that here. More the Aura base. He does have the Abyssal Skull, so.
Yeah. So Frostwolf used to be, like, the way to go back then. I remember, like.
Yeah, when it first happened, there were a lot of people going Frostwolf. Yeah, that still could be. And the new Frostwolf Skull, I don't even know if you know about that. How you
I know. It's so sick.
It's pretty strong,
crazy.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Yeah, that's a good point.
No, I think Frostwolf would have been really good here. So one thing about Sand Wraith as a carry is normally the hero shines, because the way Sand Wraith wants to play is basically he wants to take out the supports at the start of the fight. That's the main usage of Mirage. No matter how good the supports are positioning, no matter what they're doing, you jump them, you take them out, and they're gone. So in this game, one of the advantages to like picking Wild team fight.
Where is oh wow, for some reason I thought it was top lane, but yeah, no, they caught Mickey over here and get the kill.
Yeah. No, so one of the main strengths of Sandwraith is you jump the supports and you take them out, and there's nothing they can say about it. As bottom lane, Onmi actually in a lot of trouble, but he gets his blink out.
Look at that mage bait. He blinked into the trees. He's kind of stuck right there, and now Haxorn's like, well, I can't. Well, he can still chase him. He's going
Let's
to.
go,
Geometer's
Hax. Let's
Bane.
go.
There's the stun. He has a mana rift.
Oh yeah, Pebbles can't blink.
Oh, he's going in. There's a mana rift. Is it going to be enough for the
Yeah,
kill?
they
No,
just-
it's not it yet. Disarm coming out, remember. Magebane is going to be able to chase him down and get the kill, but he's really deep now, having to blink away. As you mentioned, he does have the token, so has that going for him at least, but won't even need to use it. Just blinks away in the end, and it's going to be fine. Vindicator did not have final chapter there. Used it earlier to help kill more Axis, actually, so the chase was successful.
Yeah, really good play from Hax. I like that. I've missed seeing Hax Mage Vein. It just hit me. That's why I was thinking of TDM. Hax is on Mage Vein. This is good old days. This is like his best hero. But yeah, no, really good chase. I like how they played that out. I kept thinking that Onmi's gonna blink away, but then I remembered 75 mana cost on blinking on. So yeah, couldn't do that.
Nope.
But,
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, good plays by Sync. I like how like every time someone's getting picked off, they're in position to get a pick off somewhere else on the map. Just good rotations. I think ECX right now they just I don't know. I feel like the damage on their side is going to be kind of meh soon. And the point I was going to make about Sandwraith, I know I've been talking about this forever now, but it's that Wild Soul is a great pick. And so with Tundra, Magebane, and Miraculous, because these heroes don't care. They're strength heroes. They have so much HP. The mock damage is just like, all right, fine, you can't start blinks, but you're not really dealing damage to us. With the Restless Stone is the most effective when you have like more squishy heroes like Ophelia or like Tempest. Those kind of heroes which you can just like bring down so much of their HP with just the ults as teamfight's starting again.
Yeah, Pebble's trying to run right here. Final chapter used very defensively. Double tap, by the way, coming out from Immoboy, though, so he does pick off a couple of the squishies. At least Glacius and Miraxis happens to be that case. Restless Stone gonna use it again. Tundra, he does go down. The Avalanche not gonna be enough. Hat-trick coming out for Sandwraith in the end. So the turn actually very successful right there. No buybacks or anything. Just a 3-for-1 exchange in that middle lane. That Restless Stone, though, coming into play there big time.
Yeah, I feel like I got Caster's Cursed as well, because Sandwraith had a DD. I was just complaining that they don't really have enough damage.
That helps.
Yeah, I feel like Han is being unfair. My point was valid, but he had a DD rune, so...
Had to change that, yeah. Yeah, one thing, I mean, on Sandwraith, again, a lot of topic on this, but I did mention earlier Staff of the Master could even be a thing, but this game especially, I think going back to the damage route, I expect to see more of the Firebrand even, perhaps, going into the Geometer's Bane even, so we'll see what
So I heard
chooses.
Dawnbringer is not good anymore.
The Lightbrand aspect of it's considered pretty bad across the board, yeah.
Okay.
That and Dawnbringer and everything got changed, so...
Right.
Yeah.
So Geometer's Bane is his item right now. It has to be, right?
That, or I guess it could be like Wingbow. Would that be good here, in a way? No,
I
not
like
really.
it, but I feel like on Sandwraith, the added attack speed, as well as the illusions get deserted damage. So you get 3 of them bashing on one guy, it's suddenly, instead of just like, 60 true damage, it's 180, which is a lot. So I think Geometer's Bane on Sandwraith is really good, and it works very effectively with the Maca Brilliance, where you can just pop your illusions and send them into different lanes to just have them split push out. So it increases its farm, it does great work for him in teamfights, and everyone knows Firebrand on carry is just...
It's good.
You love it. The move speed, it's just amazing, yeah.
Yeah, I think Immoboy Stress is like one of the best items you can get on any carry, really. Agi carry, at least. So.
Yeah.
Firebrand.
Yep, pretty good item.
So he does
Slap,
do it.
showing that he does not want to get amazing farm, so he's keeping both of his Alchemist Bone charges for the first time in history against the Parasite, instead of using one of them and always saying, oh, dude, no, I don't have the second one. I use it to farm.
Well, something I actually...
Oh, there we go, he used it, I knew
He's
it.
listening in there, yeah. Uses the one at least. It was actually interesting earlier, I meant to bring it up, but obviously it's on him now, but he actually did have it on Boo Boo earlier, and Boo Boo can't actually use it, of course. With the no mana especially. So that was kind of interesting. So he wasn't able to use it against Parasite in those cases if it was kind of caught off guard there. But no.
Was that in the early game?
It was in the early game. Yeah, no, he had it on the Boo Boo in the early game, yeah.
Right, so I don't know if this has changed, but the way it used to be was the Boo Boo does more damage than you for the majority of the early game. I remember Z-Freak did all the math for this, and there was like, okay, this is how you need to do it. So you would always want to have the, excluding the fact that it could root. So you would always want to have the attack speed on the bear because it was dealing more damage, so you would jungle faster. Um, but I guess like now there's not really any point this late into the game because he's definitely hitting harder than Boo Boo is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he went for Wingbow. I think that's an interesting item choice. I guess he wants. Oh no, that's been changed too, right?
There's no more reflect
Yeah,
damage.
reflect.
It's
No
so
Zephyr effect.
it gives you move speed though. So what does it do now to me? Yeah, it gives you move speed and unit walking.
And unit walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So arguably better. I mean, I
Different,
think you
I'd
could
say.
argue. Okay.
I'm not sure if it's better or worse, but definitely different.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's great otherwise against like their heroes because they all need to hit him. Like Sandwich needs to hit you a bunch of times for his abilities to really stack up and do damage. So it would have been great with a reflect, but I take it back.
Wild Soul's kind of interesting in that too because honestly, on paper, in fact, I'm not gonna lie, I did double check real quickly to make sure I was right on this. You may think he's a strength hero because you know just how the hero kind of works. He's very bulky, but he is agility, so there is that enhancement there too. Aspect of it, the more damage, of course, that he gets from say Wingbow.
That's true. That's true. I think their team right now, like they don't really lack damage, and I feel like the game is pacing really well for them. To be honest, Tundra is the only hero in this game that really can lock a hero down through Shrunken Head. And that's a big advantage when you're approaching late game like this, and it's something that definitely should be factored in. There are the silences from the Vindicator, but it's not like a kind of game where the silence is game breaking. It's the Mage Bane that it's really going to be targeting, and he has both Geometer's Bane and Shrunken Head to get out of it. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like too impactful. So Tundra really has like a big advantage for them in the fights. If he can find the real Sandwraith and just blast him with the Avalanche, that's going to do so much work. Because the majority of E6 damage is coming from Ember Boy. There's just not any other heroes building damage.
Alkbone's used to catch Parasite right there. And so Zlapt helping to make sure to secure that one. And Nier currently does not have a buyback actually, so they're going to start sieging right here, at least get the secondary tower. They're pushing middle now.
Yeah. I feel like this is good. They got to pick off, take a tower for it, but I really hope they don't push it even further, which is, if Slap heard me say this, he would be really surprised, because I always wanted to push really far. But I feel like just farm up the Mage Bane. Right now, Mage Bane is, he's out farming Sandwraith. Sandwraith can't compete in farm rate. I know if you look at just straight up GPMs, it says differently, but the way, like how fast Mage Bane can move around the map and just farm.
The mobility sets it up so easily. Now, Vindicator Final Chapter is used right here. A lot of chaos, so many illusions with Sandwraith double ultimate. Tundra's going to down it. I'm just looking at the health bars here, and it looks like Glacius and Tundra are picked up. Wild Soul caught behind, and he can't get away. He is going to be chased down. Double tap, got a Mana Rift though from Mage Bane. The big turn chance. It wasn't enough in the end though. Did kill Pebbles, but nobody else, and he had to blink away before he too falls for the genocide. So Nier, you see, he did buy back actually for that, but obviously ECX winning that fight. Gosh, just so crazy with so many illusions of Sandwraith in the midst of that.
Oh, I thought they were going to turn that around when I saw the Mana Rift for the stun on the Meraxis, but just a little bit too little damage. But the thing I wanted to talk about is I feel like they just, Mage Bane needs more. It's really key for him to have, I feel, the Wingbow. It's going to make a big difference for him, and I see him going Ice Brand, I think. I don't know what else that could be. And I don't know if I like that. It's probably going to be a Frostwolf Skull.
Yeah, that's I would
Yeah.
think. We see a bit of it honestly on Mage Banes. Again with the new Frostal Skull, it helps prevent kite obviously, so
Right.
there's that side of it, but
I don't think it's bad. I definitely don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's the right item. I think if he would go Wingbow here, it would give him the survivability that he needs, because Sandwraith is very unlikely to go... Wait, Savage Mace isn't good anymore. Man, I feel like... Okay, well, I still think Wingbow would be amazing on the Mage Bane. It gives him everything he needs, and... I don't know. I just don't think Frostwolf is the right item. They might lack damage. So, see, here's the thing. I think Slap should have had the Frostwolf, and Hax should have the Wingbow. I feel like they're reversing the items.
yeah, I see it. I think that makes a lot of sense. Again, especially with Mage Bane to split push, that Geometer's Bane being able to push with the illusions
Right?
there. So, no, I'm with you there, definitely.
Come on, Aaron. Give us an ability to swap items.
That would be something. By the way, Glowstone, maybe not. He might have sold it, actually. In fact, I think he did. Oh, Samwraith had a Glowstone, but... So I think it might be insight into what he's going, but then he wanted to make sure he has buyback, possibly. He's 10-0-6, by the way. Samwraith is still yet to die this game, so that's pretty impactful.
Friggin' Imba boy, he's so good.
He's
It's too good.
a pretty good player. Been around a while.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But I think that is going to be a staff. I mean, Glowstone honestly makes a lot now. That it makes even a couple more items than before. Nullstone, Icon, and Spellsunder. It's going to be none of those. So yeah, it is going to be a staff.
Spellsunder.
Master. Yeah. Yeah, Spellsunder.
Does it work with Mach?
No. Well, because Mach's 2 damage now.
Right.
So,
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No more magic.
Right. So yeah, I still think Wingbow on Sandwraith as well. Like there's no heroes in this game that are gonna build Savage Mace. I know it doesn't do that anymore, but even then, still Wingbow. So I think that's his item. I really hope he does not go Staff, but if he would choose to do so, who am I to question Imba God? But yeah, I just think Wingbow is super great on him. Mid lane now, Nier's in a little bit of trouble, but maybe not.
Samwraith staff will be a little more guaranteed, like initiation lockdown on Magebane. I think, to be fair, with that fear effect, of course, like things like the final chapter. Again, he can obviously just geometers or shrunken. Where if he's feared,
Right.
he can't get out of that himself. He has to sit in
That's
that
true.
until he's done. So I think that might be where. But no, he does buy Dancing Blade, so never mind. Oh, what's over here, by the way? Moraxis does make a jump happen. Samwraith, though's coming in. Farrell's surviving quite a bit of this, and going to start to set up a turn. He eventually does fall, but at what cost now? Wild still dropping a half-life. He's dealing with a lot of illusions. However, the real Sandwraith is still alive as he ports elsewhere, but Magebane chasing him down now with that Mana Rift coming out, and Sandwraith will fall to the Magebane. The mana just melted away, and he goes down. So does Vindicator. Farrell, of course, dead from before, so a 3-for-1 for Sync as barely unable to get Parasite, but...
Oh, what are they doing? Why are they going to Kongor? No! Did they not see the Dancing Blade? They didn't see the Dancing Blade!
Oh, yeah.
They don't know that he doesn't have a buyback. Oh, no. That could have been, one lane of racks because they don't have the tier 2s, but still, I think this is huge.
Can they still go? I mean, he's still dead for another 50 seconds.
I don't think they're going to because they think he has a buyback, right? Because that's why they would choose to go Kongor instead. But yeah, interesting fight. I was keeping my eyes on Zibba there. I was hoping that he would find the real... So obviously I'm sync biased, if you guys didn't already know. Yeah, I was looking to see if he could find the real Sandwraith, which was hitting him the entire fight, but he barely got away there. And this is a big thing, where Sandwraith needs to get kills during his ulti duration. Because during the ulti, he's kind of, in a way, invulnerable. It's really hard to find him. There's just so many illusions everywhere. You don't know which one's the real one. You can guess, but with single target abilities, it's like, do I really want to go for it?
Yeah.
I'll look stupid if I screw up.
We saw Wildsoul kind of doing that there. He was trying to figure out which one was the real one.
Yeah, it's just A ground, spam AoE abilities.
Yeah.
Like, anyone that's played versus Sandwraith, that's the same for the pros, guys. We don't know either. We just hope.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get lucky. Or they get lucky, I guess. So,
You're still honorary pro. There you go. IDP.
So yeah, no, and I think that's what happened there. Sandwraith didn't kill someone on the jump, and because they didn't kill someone on the jump, the fight ended up going in the way of Sync, and I think it's just gonna boil down to that. But now, Thunder initiates here onto Pebbles. Magebane's there to follow up.
Yeah, he's not living through that. Sandwraith is gonna try to make a counter happen, but Farrell will stop the TP actually of Tundra. But look at Magebane. It's almost as if he doesn't care. Now, he might want to start caring because Token's going to be used right there. Moraxis is here to help just in case. Final chapter, as soon as it comes up, Magebane's going to fall. And they do secure the kill on him. So he does have plenty for a buyback here, but they dove very greedy for just the Pebbles. Obviously, end up losing a token and a life there in the end. So it's a lot of back and forth here as far as making some poor choices, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because if you're Sync, when did the game turn around in their favor? I think it was when Pebbles made the exact same play, just on the opposite side of the map. Mm-hmm. That's when the game turned in their favor. And then they followed up by doing kind of like the same mistake, in a way, which is something you really want to avoid at like any cost. You know, like you see, okay, they did this, and this is why we're in the game right now. This is why we're in the situation we are at. So we need to not do the same thing to give them a way back into the game. But yeah unfortunately it happens. But yeah. Interesting little remark.
Farrell was kind of scouting out right there with that veiled rot, but good thing he turned around when he did, as there was a couple of heroes coming that could have been deadly for him, so he ends up getting out of there unscathed in as, oh, never mind, he's going back in, actually. Sandwraith is going to eventually port in and set up the easy kill onto Moraxis, so good catch. Obviously, they've been taking advantage of that combo really a bit this game. The Pharaoh Sandwraith here.
Yeah.
Another kill secured.
I think these are super comfort heroes for ECX. This is like, if they picked this back when I was playing, I would not be surprised. It's like Parasite, Sandwraith,
Vindicator's kind of the out of place one a little bit, but
right. But also the player's a little bit out of place one too. So maybe it's like a player hero combination thing. Baboon Slayer, maybe grinds Vindicator all day, every day.
Possibly, yeah.
He's like, Imba Boy, give it to me. Trust. But yeah, I would like to see Basher or Brutalizer on Slap. I think that would be great. He has so much attack speed. It's actually ridiculous. I think even in ranged form, he's going to be bashing because of that attack speed.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, I think a Basher would be amazing. It would turn him into this like dangerous carry who can just like sit on anyone and lock them down till they die, more or less. I'm not sure. Does his things go through Shrunken Head? The splash hits?
The swipe that he does? Yeah, that's physical damage, yeah.
And the slow, is it physical too, do you know?
I would think so. I don't see why not.
Yeah,
I think
so...
it's physical presence, yeah.
Because the game is basically getting to that point, you know? Like, where sooner or later, Sandwraith's most probably going to get a BKB just to, like, Shrunken Head to keep him safe in the team fights and just allow him to output damage. Because now he has the Wingbow, he has all the sources of damage that he really needs. I just think for him it's a question of staying alive. And especially versus Magebane, I think it's super important to have that. He doesn't burn your mana, and like honestly, it's like half of his damage is just mana drain, as well as your mana being gone. So it does a lot.
Pebbles jump to your middle lane. Here goes Sandwraith though once again. Another big fight commencing. Mika is going to be picked off there. Sandwraith coming back in. He does have a second ultimate still to use, I believe, as Pebbles will go down, though. Magebane in the midst of this now, getting a lot of right clicks. Where's the real one? They do figure it out, trying to chase him down. They will catch Vindicator, but nice job with that Void Talisman staying alive for the time being. Near's trying to port out. That's not going to happen, though. Sandwraith coming back in. Does go Glacius. That Mana Rift, though, and oh, he's barely going to die. Him, Wild Soul, and Magebane all walk into a bar, and, well, Magebane and Wild Soul come out. Magebane. I don't know where that came from. But anyways, the two stay alive. Vindicator fell, or Vindicator stays alive as well, but obviously big fight there for Sync. And buyback, you know, Imba Boy doesn't have enough for a buyback currently. Well, everyone else does, though, apparently.
Well, not Pebbles either.
Yeah, not Pebbles.
I don't know. I feel like this is respect. This is mad respect they're showing for ECX. Like, they're just like, of course they have buybacks. They would be stupid not to have buybacks at 42 minutes into the game. Therefore, we should not push high ground, even though we have every ability to just walk over their base, get racks, and set us up for an easy W.
Yep.
And it's a little bit worrisome. Like, in some ways, yeah, it's fine. They're like, okay, we won one fight, we can win another one. That's, like, basically the mindset, I think. That goes Shrunken. Ooh, I don't know about that. Anyways, so, yeah, it's giving Reason ECX more chances in this game than they really should have had. And, but they do got hacks on carry, which is, like, probably the best late game carry you can have. I don't think that's changed. I don't think that'll ever change. So they're fine with this, I think. But I don't know. I don't like the item choices on Sync. Need to talk to Slap between the games.
Alright, figure that out.
Tell him what's up. Yeah.
Magebane did rebuy his Shrunken Head, by the way, too. So, and Moraxis just got his, so a lot of Shrunkens. They're gonna have 4 Shrunkens now. On this side.
So if we're gonna break down the last team fight a little bit, Magebane actually chose not to use the Mana Rift to get a free kill on Vindicator when he popped his Void Talisman and was really low on mana.
Yeah.
Which I was myself was like, Hacks, why aren't you Mana Rifting? But then it ended up being huge for them because it allowed them to get a turnaround kill on, oh god, I'm losing his name, Sandwraith. So, just Spectre. But no, Sandwraith. Yeah. Which was really huge. Good presence of mind there from him, like realizing that, you know what, what doesn't matter if Vindicator dies. He's burned his abilities, he's not really a target which I need to bring down here. It's not too important. So just save the Mana Rift in case Imbaboy makes a greedy play. And these are really small things, but they make such huge differences. Like, if you look at a newer player, that is probably what they would have done. They're like, oh, Vindicator, free kill, Mana Void. He's taking amp damage from the Ghost Scepter, but Haxorn just, he's played this hero a gazillion times, and he knows. Nah, dude, Imbaboy's coming back.
Had it planned all along. And I actually want to go over something I did forget about mention about the Mock of Brilliance, and maybe a little more credit to where the Shrunken Heads are coming from. So the Mock damage is true damage now, but the aura effect is magic still. So if you are magic immune, you will not take any damage from the Mock of Brilliance. So that is something to keep in mind too, thinking of all this. Vindicator, by the way, quick jump on him, and he's dead off the bat. He does have a buyback, but Pebble's also going to fall very quickly. Not enough team support nearby. So a couple of kills. Vindicator does buy back already, but Pebbles does not have one at this point.
Yeah. Alright, so interesting for this fight is that, okay, Magebane does not have Shrunken Head. I think if you're viewing and you want to know, like, try to break down the fight, try to follow it, look at how Haxorn uses his Geometer's Bane. It could be really important.
Oh, he's going to get caught right there as he jumps in pretty aggressive. There's a science, and he's still locked down, actually. He is going to go down in the end, so... that was too good. Moraxis is gonna fall back with Wild Soul. The reason why I'm laughing, I'm sure you're sitting there waiting for it. Well, let's watch it, and sure enough, he doesn't use it in the end. Hellflower, I'm sure, is to thank for that. But Wild Soul, is he actually gonna be chased down right here? He is. They are gonna be able to do enough damage to him, and he does have a buyback with Magebane here if they find it necessary. But EC Hex, they hold again. So, yeah, I mean, that was a huge kill on Magebane. Obviously, they executed that well. The Hellflower, the big part of it.
Yeah, dude, twin power. They just knew what the other guy was thinking, and they're like, dude, focus Hax. And Zane's like, telepathically, yeah, man, Hellflower him. And it's just, they just do it. I don't know, they're crazy in sync, though. Like, no jokes. They play so well together, Imbaboy and Zane. I don't know, I was actually thinking, like, why is Hax Geometer's Bane not going off? But I think it was a big deal there that they chose to go without the Shrunken Head after the Vindicator bought back. Normally, you take it. You're like, oh, he bought back? All right, cool. That's good enough. We can win another fight. We can find another pick.
Yeah.
And I just, like, this is where I'm, like, questioning it a little bit. Because earlier, they were just assuming they have buybacks and refusing to push and force them. And they're just, like, paying respect to reason kind of at the wrong times, I feel. Like, when they buy back, they still chose to push. But earlier, they didn't want to force the fight because they might buy back. So it shows, like, kind of I don't know if it starts, like, for me it pops up questions like, who's really captaining the team? Do they have a clear call? Do they know what they're doing when? Or is it just like, take every situation as it happens?
Yeah.
And that's worrisome if that's the case. Like, how's the leadership looking in the team?
Yeah, no, that's very fair. Absolutely. It does feel like that 6 kind of given these openings to ECX, and obviously credit to ECX for playing like they are to keep in this again. Imbaboy and Zane especially have been impressive to watch with that synergy on top of that. But yeah, you see Imbaboy here, 15, 2, and 10. The damage charts also are pretty fun to look at. He's 35% damage done, and next closest is 15 on Magebane actually. So Sandwraith, of course, not surprising, but dominating the damage charts. He has 5,500 gold. What is he getting here? He's sitting at the shop.
So he won't, but I want him to get a Demonic Breastplate. I think Demonic Breastplate right now would do wonders for them. It'll further amplify his deserter damage. Sheepstick's great.
Wow.
Amazing pickup too. I love that, especially with the Resto Stone. It gives him 2 sheeps, like, amazing, and it gives him the mana regen.
This is big. This is big, by the way. Is he going to go in right here, Kongor? No, he does die. I thought they might have tried to make a play. Okay. Meanwhile, Pharaoh gets caught with Sandwraith. It's a huge start for the Hellborn side. Sandwraith, that's a fake one. He sported over here. Never mind. Tundra's going to go down right there. There is the second ultimate from Sandwraith. The silence from Vindicator as well, and they do get the lockdown on the Mirax to get him killed. Magebane able to blink away barely, but staying alive. Double tap, though, for Imbaboy coming out. He does have a sheepstick to use. I don't think he can get close enough, though. And Wild Soul, kill Boo Boo at least, but Wild Soul himself will be fine. But yeah, they don't get Kongor stopped or steal a token or anything, but they win the fight, actually. And now they're pushing. They're going to counter siege here. ECX, and this is, there's no buybacks actually. It is just the Mage Bane and the Wild Soul. In fact, Mage is going to be chucked in. There's a combo coming out. Mage Bane is going to die right here. He does have 2 buybacks still. He's going to use 1 right here, I'm sure. Or maybe not. Maybe he just figures it's not worth it. Wild Soul is going to go down in the end. He does have a token. Again, maybe if they overcommit, he is. Okay, he goes right here finally. Get a big mana rift off perhaps. Okay, not going to use it. Pebbles goes down. Vindicator also being chased back as they also take out Parasite, and Vindicator's definitely dead here as well. So the timing right there from Haxer, he's just being very patient with it. Yeah. Eventually get the kills, but wow.
Good buyback, obviously. Definitely needed to do that. I don't know why he didn't do it sooner, but it worked out. They also actually got the kills. That's basically what they wanted out of the buyback, so that was good. But that team fight, oh man, was it messy. Slap was actually sitting in the Congo pit almost throughout the entire fight, picking up the token, picking up the bananas. And then like, no, drop the bananas, take the token. And just like trying to figure out like, what am I doing with this stuff?
Yeah.
And back to what I was talking about earlier about leadership, this is like cemented in for me now. Like there's clearly some miscommunication going on right now for them. And it's a worrisome sign. Like first of all, respecting Reason earlier that much, and then now with this stuff, hopefully it's like, because these things easily transition over into the next game. And I really hope that doesn't happen. So yeah, they get the counteract mid now. Great. But ooh, this game is intense. Yeah, it's so intense.
You could very easily argue that again, it should not be coming to this at this point. But Sync is making the counter push. As you mentioned, they get the middle. They're going top. Now, are they actually going to get this? I don't think they are. Yeah, they will fall back. I was going to say good because you can tell Legion was ready to go in. Now, Resistone not ready for Sandwraith currently, but obviously Sync already fallen back, so going to be good for the time being. So they end up trading a set of racks right there. But again, with ECX arguably being behind here, that's really pretty good for them, the fact that they're able to trade racks at this point. So there is still game left here. This is definitely anyone's. Tundra buying a Nullfire Blade. That's an interesting choice. I mean, there's a lot of things that it will remove. I think Sheepstick has to be one of the bigger ones, of course.
Yeah.
And has that now for that sake. Did I just see a Savage Mace, by the way?
You did see a Savage Mace. I'm not just... Why wouldn't he go Basher? And I'm actually wondering. It's not like a theory. I don't understand.
I mean,
especially if Savage Mace isn't as amazing as he used to be.
Well, there is the wing bow. So, I mean, it still technically deals with the wing bow, where if you miss, then it will allow you to not miss. But...
Right. But wing bow's 33% miss chance, right? And Savage Mace, yeah, it is. And Savage Mace means, it says that in your next 3 attacks you can't miss. So technically you're not really... Well, I guess you're... Never mind. But it's... I don't know. I'm sure there's some flawed math going on right there, where it's like, it doesn't actually do too much.
I'll say this about Savage Mace. I have been a little surprised at how people have been stating it's just bad now, because I do feel like it's still a good choice as that counter to a wing bow, but it's not as strong as it was before, I think, simply put. Now, if you want raw damage, you could argue that, yeah, there's a catch right here, so never mind. Pebbles initially, again, the illusions, though, coming out, the totem down in the midst of it. But in the background, Mage Bane is going to be able to blink away barely, but Sandwraith, he's going to try to chase him down. Yes, he ports in. He wants this chase, he wants this kill, but Mage Bane just a little too far away and will be fine. Nice job kiting away, but he's going to be the sole survivor. No, he does go down. Sandwraith was able to ultimate again and get in there and get the kill. Wild Soul now left by himself with that Savage Mace. Ain't going to work there. Double tap coming out, and ECX, they clean up. Haxer and Anslap both have their final buybacks. They may need to use it here.
I mean, they're going to have to, but what a messy fight from Sync again. They initiate onto Sandwraith, right? They get all the damage onto him. They manage to bring him down. They use a Tundra. They commit the stun. Oh, I love this pause. So long as it's not Mick has to go pee, this is a great pause. Discuss exactly what you're going to do. Talk through everything. Okay, this is how we're going to buy back. This is how we're going to take the fight. Because they're messing up that aspect of their game so far, I think. The only reason I think they're in the situation they are right now is because they just haven't been functioning as well as a team as they could have. And this kind of a pause, this is amazing. Really good. Whoever did this, thumbs up to you. You deserve 1,000,000 ones in the Twitch chat. Really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whoever said leader is, taking the call here. And again, you'd have to think it's slapped. Being out
Let's
drafted
give credit to
though.
Slap. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for other things. Slap, great leadership, amazing pause. I wish I did this at DreamHack in Thailand, but I didn't because I'm dumb. Great leadership, amazing decision, and yeah, this was definitely a strat pause. 100 out of 100 times.
Oh yeah.
So let's see what they talk through. This is going to be really interesting how they take this from me. Hopefully they know what they're doing.
God, it is something. I'm honestly just seeing this here, but 700 gold per minute Mage Bane, 650 Wild Soul, 630 Sand Rate. This is ridiculous. The amount of GPM we have on 3 different heroes in this game, and yet the one with the, having the one hero is, well, probably in the better spot here at this point, especially after that last fight.
Man, 53 minutes into the game, 10 people have played their hearts out. They have just done everything they possibly can to win this game. I don't think the numbers matter anymore. It's not a question of numbers. It's about the people sitting there. It's about Imba Boy. Yeah, hacks. Just picture the expressions on their faces right now and how into this they are. There's nothing in the world that matters except winning this game for them right now.
There's zero emotion on Imba Boy's face.
Oh, true. Same with Zane. They're Terminators.
They
were sent from Germany to win Han games.
They're pretty fun to watch when it came to that. Kongor is not up, so you see the Hellborn team over in the area. I almost thought they were going to be going for it, but obviously not up at the time. Looking around, the failed rot getting used. Moraxis looking for an opportunity here. Sheepstick, by the way, also on Parasite now. So they do have another one of those here to
another one.
Use. 3,600 gold on Pebbles. He's got quite a bit saved up, but he's has 2 buybacks. A lot of buybacks in general, yeah. You see the heroes out of buybacks, though, on either side. It's like we got Vindicator and Parasite on the Legion, but then you have Sandwraith and Wild Soul and Hellborn. Obviously, much bigger deal for Sync. That's bad for them, of course, so.
Yeah.
Having that to deal with. But Mage Bane, another 4,200. So what is he buying here? I mean, he could rebuy the Shrunken again. What is it at? 9 seconds, so might as well, right? You're not spending the gold. There's no more couriers that you can do, so literally there's nothing to spend the gold on other than maybe Bound Eyes for the team, but
Doombringer, Breaky.
Or Doombringer. This is very likely a game where we could see Doombreaker, honestly.
I'm not even kidding. Drop your Steam Boots, buy a Doombringer. He doesn't need boots anymore. He's maxed out Mage Bane. He has Blink, moves around the fast team, the fight so fast. They have a lot of lockdown to keep people in place.
Yeah.
It's also different because people in the other game, they do that every now and then. They drop their boots and buy Doombringers. So for me, it's kind of yeah, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And if not for the victory of the game, do it for the fans.
Exactly.
Do it for all the people watching.
Always got to be thinking that in the back of your
mind. Right,
because
then you're a winner no matter what. Even if you lose, you did it for the fans.
Absolutely.
Come on, Hacks. Play for the fans.
Wild Soul's interesting when it comes to that, though, because obviously he does have more slots here now on Bear. And we talk about this from time to time with Wild Soul and how, you could argue that's why he's the strongest carry in the game because he has 12 slots compared to 6, but we never see it. I mean, it's never the case, but hey, you're out of buybacks, you're getting gold still. This is going to be the game where at least you can start building up Boo Boo now a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Man, double Doombringer on his lap. Let's go, Hacks. Go feed to the Ancients or something.
Gosh.
No, but, oh, man. I just feel like at this point in the game, it's all the, because I know the emotion that is, right now. It's so intense. You're just waiting for that one fight, right? And the next fight is going to determine the game. And as a player in the situation, it's just all the, sound reasoning, all this stuff for both teams, guaranteed just goes out the window. It's a matter of who can keep their emotions in check. Who can just play this game the right way from this point onward. Just, don't take any risks. Be the team that does not screw up. Be the more patient team. It's a question of patience. It really is. Late game, I think it boils down to that. Who can be more patient and calculated and just play the game the right way and not give in to, whatever thoughts pop up in your head, let's go 5-man smoke into the jungle where we have no vision.
I feel like these games, it's one of two ways they end. One is, maybe even one more than that, now that I think about it, but really, at the Conqueror Pit, a big fight takes place, one team just overwhelms them. Another one's you get that one pick somewhere where they don't have a buyback. Obviously, many heroes in this game are that case, and then they just are able to push from there and win the game. Or then we have the split push, the race, essentially the base race. So it's like one of those three you feel like is going to basically happen here. It's just a matter of which.
So I'll veto the pickoff. Let's not have that happen.
Okay.
You choose.
I'll
Team fight a Roche.
We're gonna choose. We pause the game here and be like, all right, this is how it's ending, guys. So make sure it happens. Yeah.
You guys have to gather your armies, go mid lane, and fight.
I'm thinking base race, honestly. Like this feels like it's that kind of game. I mean, we got several post Vindicator even having a post stage. You got Parasite's great for that opportunity. So there's that.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, you got Shiver though on the other side of the Tundra.
No.
So
I just remembered something.
what's that?
It says ECX, but this is Reason. They always backdoor in late game.
Yep.
Do you know how many times we've lost to them because we were pushing their base and they were all dead and they buy back and then TP to a puzzle box minion and we lose? Too many times, Ricky. Too many times.
Oh
no.
My gosh, he does it. All right. Haxer advised the Doombringer. What is he getting rid of is a question. Boots? Is he really doing the boots? No, Rune Cleaver.
No. Oh, well, he's doing it for the fans. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Get rid of the Rune Cleaver.
There we go. Okay.
There we go.
He didn't
Let's
sell
go,
it.
Hax.
He didn't sell the Cleaver to be fair. Oh, wow. Sandwraith, see? Yeah, they're looking for a pick. They got Tundra right there.
No, they're not allowed to push. I vetoed this option.
Yeah, there's that pick we're talking about. Now, the funny thing about that, too, is that they saw Mage Bane with the Doombringer. I'm 99% sure somebody probably noticed that. So it's not going to be a surprise, unfortunately, if they're hoping for that. And now he's back at the base here. But, yeah, so in case he happens to die, obviously then sure it would drop, but then he can come back eventually and then get the Rune Cleaver. But, yeah, no, if he dies, I mean, the game's over. So really it doesn't matter. Yeah, you know what? I'm with you, man. Why even have the boots? Rune Cleaver is still pretty impactful.
With all the illusions?
Damage, too, yeah. I'm actually, yeah, I think this is not the best way to go. But he went the Doombringer, so we can't complain too much. He's gonna look at this. He's trying to bait out with the illusion, but now it's pretty obvious, I would think. With how much damage happened there, yeah. So, good attempt, but not gonna happen. But
isn't this how super cool? 60 minutes into the game, we see Mage Bane illusions fighting Sandwraith illusions. Yeah. For defense of the racks, they're so scared of each other that no one wants to run up.
Flash.
Oh man.
Now they're gonna fall back in the end. So Tundra dying right there. Ultimately, your veto stands there. They're not gonna try to win the game off of it, or they won't be able to, I should say. Kongor, of course, is up. This would be a third Kongor. So the good old bananas dropping from it as well. And now we see the Hellborn team pushing back out. So the Shiver gonna lead the way, of course. Get that information, but obviously Kongor not happening yet. But I guess at this point, maybe that Kongor is going to be the case. Very likely it could probably be that way. Matthias 5,000 gold saved up, by the way, and he does have 2 buybacks, but maybe
I'm calling a sheep stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always good to have.
I don't know, dude. This game is so intense. Right, like
it is.
Parts of me are like, I'm so happy that I'm not playing right now. So,
yeah.
Like Zibit, okay, this is what happened. Zibit just went like, oh my god, I'm so happy we did not just lose the game. Because then it would have been my fault. Oh, man. I told you this reminded me of the TDM games. They were always this long and this intense.
Yeah.
Top lane? Just
TDM, stay green, yeah. God, I want to say, Zlapped nearly 5,000 gold saved up, so I'm not sure, like, if he just doesn't really know what he wants to buy, but again, there's really no reason to be saving up gold at this point for him.
Unless you're going to make a play for the fans and buy the Doombringer.
Yeah, that's true.
How does it work if it's on the bear?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had an instance like that. Man, I would think if Boo Boo dies, it drops. I don't see how it wouldn't. Like, but if it doesn't drop, I mean, that's pretty OP then, right? Like, that
right?
It has to. It has to. There's no way it doesn't.
Oh, man. Let's go, Slab. Doombringer on Boo Boo. Give him all your items and let him go ham. He'll never see it coming. They've been like... Because, you know, so far in the game, Boo Boo's just been like this little bear that just comes hello and says hi every now and then. He just gives them all the items. They won't see it coming. But I don't know. Like, I don't think there's too much, like, to say here. This game is just really stale. Neither team wants to risk making a mistake. And...
No.
I don't know. He actually bought post-haste on Matthias here.
Okay.
I just feel like Slap should buy a Basher. Honest, like, I just don't see any reason why not. For the bear. Or an Abyssal Skull.
He
Oh,
has
he has it on
one.
a 0.
Yeah, okay, he has one.
Put the Abyssal on the bear and
Yeah,
get a bash for yourself.
that he definitely should do. Yeah, he should put that on the ground and get whatever item he's planning to get, whether it's the bash
Right.
or the doom, whatever. You see Samurai slowly working away at the melee racks up here, getting it down to close to half life.
So something I learned from Fansmeister when he was doing all the silhouette split pushing is that you always want to send illusions on the range racks, because the range racks has no health regen, whereas the melee does. So every hit you get on the range racks is always going to be damage. No matter at what point in the game you get it, it's damage. It's the same thing as sending illusions on towers. So Boy, you should be hitting the range racks.
Wait. Let me clarify. Wait, so the regen, they both have regen.
They do.
Yeah.
The range racks is supposed to have
The range
less
racks has
or no
more
regen.
regen, actually. I'm fairly
Really?
certain. What I think it is, though, where it kind of makes sense is that the range racks has 10 less armor. It's 15
too.
armor on the melee and only
Right,
5 on
right.
the range.
I'm thinking of the wrong game. You're right.
that's why
You're
I was a little
absolutely right.
worried
yeah,
there
yeah,
about.
yeah. You're right. No, you're right. You're actually
Okay.
right. But yeah, so illusions still go for the range racks for a different reason. As
Yeah.
team fight,
No, he's scouting with it. It looks like. Or...
illusion fight,
Yeah.
illusion fight.
Okay. There the final
Oh,
chapter
global.
used actually. All right, maybe we are going. There's a jump into Magebane. Magabane's getting low. Magebane, if he falls, then Doombringer dropping. Oh my God, the damage he puts out with the auto attacks. He goes down though, but so does Sandwraith. The Doombringer's on the ground. Nobody's picking it up, but the Hellborn team has control of the area at least. Parasite trying to finish off Tundra. Can't do it though. Has to fall back. Sandwraith, he buys back immediately. He's coming back. Who got the Doombringer? It looks like Wildsoul eventually picked it up right there. Moraxis. Oh, he has his own Doombringer. That's why. Yeah, no, he goes down actually. What just happened right there? Where? Oh, Pebbles got it right now, right? Yeah, Pebbles got it now.
And he has a demonic, so that's really scary.
He hits hard. Yeah, that is not good. In fact, he's also going to brutalize. No, Brandon Saber. Yeah, I guess that'd have to be a brutalizer. That or a savage, but maybe a savage actually. Oh my gosh!
God,
look at
I don't
that
even want to
Rainbow
look
X.
at that. No, I'm looking away. I'm not looking at my computer. That's oh my God.
He's gonna 4-shot their range racks essentially. That could be the game because we're gonna see mega creeps coming out. No, they might not get bottom actually. The tower's still up. In 24 seconds on Mageman. What a finish we have here.
I don't think Mega's this game though. I don't think Sync's gonna give up due to mega creeps. They can hold them off.
No. You play to the finish of this game for sure. With
Yeah.
the way this is
Here we
going.
go.
There we go on a Pebbles. If they kill him, that's a Doombringer. Pebbles are really risky. Oh, the Doombringer's on the ground. Can they pick it up? Farrell's trying. He's still something. The Mummy Walls help protect it. He's dying though, but he's gonna barely live. Wild Soul with his own Doom. Not enough damage, so we do officially have the 2 Doombringers in the game. And now there's one on either side. Magebane coming back. Obviously, he's got the Rune Cleaver, as we were talking about earlier. He didn't sell it. But, man, he's probably a little pissed off after that last one. But, again, this game, we're going to have a pretty solid finish here. 66 minutes. This is only game 1, too. With that said.
I just realized something.
Okay.
Why are there no Storm Spirits in this game? Trough somewhere in the world right now just like is going nuts. Where are the Storm Spirits? At this point in the game, storming the Magebane and allowing him to like get a couple of hits off, just like delaying the initiation, it does so much. Oh, I just realized that no Fireblade should have been a Storm Spirit.
More Axis. You could argue should definitely have one, too, yeah.
Oh my, they need to let those 2 heroes farm. Storm Spirits are so huge at this stage of the game. The defensive aspect of them, it just allows the carries to play so much more aggressively. And say, you know, Vindicator uses ulti. What do? Storm Spirit him. Like, it buys him the time during crucial, like, crowd control to, like, get your spells off, to get your abilities off. And it just does so much because it resets your targeting. You know, you're, like, hitting Magebane and get Storm Spirited. You're like, okay, I need to do damage. Hit someone else.
Yeah.
And then it buys Magebane a couple of seconds to get more hits off. So those are items that both sides really need. It should be their #1 priority right now. It just hit me like.
No, yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out because absolutely, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, you see another rebuy of the Shrunken Head from Magebane, by the way, so we will have another full 10 seconds on that. But another thing to point out here is that sure the Legion team has the Doombringer, but it's on Zane on Pharaoh. Now, not that that's like really bad to be fair. I mean, he obviously any hero that has a Doombringer is going to hit pretty hard. And he's doing that. He does have the Hellflower as well, so actually its attack speed's not too bad either. So, I mean, it's not the worst. Again, you ideally want it on Sandwraith, but the fact that they have it is good for them. But wouldn't he be careful about going YOLO, you could say, where usually he'd be kind of going in there being the initiator up front. He may not want to do that here, having the Doombringer. Depending.
But what do you think, Reiki? What item would he drop for the Doombringer? Because I really feel like all of his items are so essential to his build. Like, it's a really well-rounded build. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, isn't it? The Mach is like, you can't, though, because the Mach is what really brings that threat of the AoE from all the additions. Yeah. I guess you're right. Yeah. No,
I feel like Pebbles is their hero.
Pebbles has to be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to be, yeah.
Though, if you look at the damage charts, Zane is the hero dealing the second most damage on their team. Which is mostly rockets across the map, but...
Rockets help.
Yeah.
Glowstone on Moraxis, by the way, so he's definitely not going Storm Spear. Probably Nullstone, if I'd have to guess.
I think it's to allow him to initiate, basically, and allow him to use that blink that he has. But Mickey loves Storm Spirit so much. In every game that we played that took longer than 30 minutes, he would go, "I'm buying Storm Spirit," and everyone was like, "No, you're Kraken, get damage." Like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm so surprised. Why do they not have Storm Spirits? Sibba has the gold.
Doombringer can only be carried by heroes, not by... So you cannot have it on the bear. That's what ProBusk is saying, at least. Should we trust him?
No, I trust that. That sounds legit.
Good.
Even though he doesn't GG after games, you can trust him. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's talking about.
No, yeah. Would definitely trust that. Okay. That makes sense.
So... Oh yeah, interesting as well. Doombringer change? Slap is currently doing 280 damage for the first time in history. That might come into effect. I don't think so, but maybe.
That's right. I mean, we never see this item, and the few times it's like the game ends shortly after. So this has to be one of the longer games we've had with a Doombringer in it that actually kept on going. We're nearly 70 minutes. The Doombringers have been in the game for 10 minutes, really, at this point. So that is something in itself. And again, being game number one, I mean, he chose a great series to co-cast here in Sania.
Yeah, dude, I'm really glad you had me on.
Yeah. We haven't seen a lot of action in general, honestly, a lot of these games, but yeah, this is definitely turning out to be quite the finish.
Yeah. I don't know what what teams are like the best teams and the better are the better, etc. But this is, in my opinion, always a clash of titans, like Sync versus ECX, formerly Reason.
Honestly, it's the closest it's ever been. There's no doubt in that. And again, just results and stuff have backed it up. But if you had to put tiers right now, it'd probably be Sync and Complexity, and then Evil Corporation, Fresh, and Bad Monkey Gaming. But yeah, it's as far as that the standings go. But yeah, really we have a top 5, top 6 even right now that are just all somewhat interchangeable even. So.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no, I mean, for me, as a player, I'll be honest, this was the hard, this was always, when you went into the series, you were always okay, playing Reason, everything needs to be perfect, or ECX. So this is definitely, I think, one of the hardest challenges for, us as players back in the old Sync, and I'm sure Slap probably feels the same way, because I feel like they're probably, a lot of the stuff that we did, Slap still does, and so on, so, man... What a game. I can't believe it.
Parasite gets a Storm Spirit, actually, so the
Nier,
team has
is he going to be the hero? Dude, he has Blank Storm Spirit. This is amazing late game combination of items, because it basically allows you to bail out your carry, like I went over already.
Sandray, 6,800 gold. Okay, so again, the case now, we're talking about the Hellborn team, he has no buybacks. What is he doing here with this gold? He doesn't have a Shrunken, so he can't rebuy that. I mean, he has to go Doombringer, right? He has to sell the Mach. No, I don't know.
Mbaboy doesn't care about the fans. No. But I just honestly feel like I said earlier, none of his items are the build is so good together. It's the synergy of everything. So I really don't know if that's 7,000 gold.
You can't buy any. I guess you could just buy a shit ton of wards and the Veiled Rots for the team and. If you really want to go that much into it.
He won't do that.
It's Zimbabwe. Yeah, what is it? He doesn't know what those items are.
Come on, Reiki. He doesn't know the shop hotkeys for wards. He's never pressed that button before.
That's could be very true, actually.
No, he actually plays a ton of support in matchmaking.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah. But no, I really don't know. I think maybe if you really want to go into puzzle boxes and pop
Good
keep it
point.
on the courier and like keep spamming the courier to deliver and like move back so it like just stays at one
God,
spot. You get what I mean? And then just like change your items real quick, spawn the puzzle, put it back
that
up,
would be
jump in
so
with your
annoying.
ulti. Yeah, like just something like that. I
Or
mean, I used to buy couriers like at this point in the
Or
game.
yeah, well, yeah. Again, you can't do that
You can't
anymore.
do that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's this is definitely one of the few games where we see that obvious downside. So, um, I
Waza,
was
if you're
gonna.
out there.
He was watching earlier. I
Aaron.
did see him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's better be watching this game, right? Resto Stone on the courier, you could argue too, and that same
Right.
idea that you're talking about, where you're just spamming it, and then ideally you'd have it delivered to you, like, but then like during the fight, that could be so like it takes a while, and yeah, that's just it's
But
tough.
these are pro players, Ricky. They should have explored all aspects of the game. No, just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. It's 7,400 gold currently doing nothing, but I don't think gold matters anymore at this point in the game. It's like
No.
the amount of gold gain on each side is so minimal that they're not gonna complete any items, not any major items. It's like I said, Storm Spirits, Sibilant, Nullstone. I I see why, but I really don't think it's the right choice. I think Storm Spirits here would have by far been the right item. Like there's just nothing that can compete with it.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I'm definitely with you there again. I mean, more access, trying to get him some farm, kind of to get his own Null Stone now, so we talked about that, and guess you got that going for now. I was seeing the supports, if there's anything that could be interesting on them. I mean, a Restless Stone on, like, Vindicator would be amazing, obviously, but that's not even coming up close, so yeah, no farm for him or Glacius for that matter. So don't
Yeah, they're
expect
just too
those.
scared. Like they're never
Yeah.
gonna be able to farm the supports. They're just so scared, and the gold tick is, it's not gonna give them any items like that. So I'm not. I don't know. Neither team is willing to leave their side of the map.
It is weird. How about, okay, so Boo Boo actually has post haste, so Slap putting that on Boo Boo so that he could swap the boots, I guess, if he needs to actually post haste somewhere. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Nice little
No,
speed
that
burst as well.
yeah. What about? Can you? So you can still put a pickled brain on Boo Boo and get a Storm Spirit for him, right?
No, he has 0 mana.
Yeah, but if you give him a pickled brain, it doesn't give him intelligence, but it gives him mana. It just says gives plus 250 mana.
I don't
That
think it does.
that's how it used to be.
Did it? You know what?
Plus
Well,
200 max mana.
I'm looking at the mana bar, and it's just, oh god, here we go, big fight coming out right here. Sarah dropping so quickly, Sarah's dead. No buyback, obviously, the jump is real, the Doombringer damage is real, and they also pick up Parasite. You see Pharaoh, where is he? He's trying to pour it out with that Doombringer. If he goes down too, the game's probably over at that point, but no, he does escape. Vindicator does die, as he was just trying to kite them away at that point. So, Samurai dead for 60 seconds, Vindicator dead for 60, Parasite dead for 60. Can Sync actually counter push now, possibly get Mega Creeps? There's very likely a chance here.
Yeah, they're just gonna go for it. I don't even think they're gonna care about the creeps. They're just going. They know Sandwraith has no buyback. I hope there should be no reason that they don't know. I have a reveal I could make, but I'm not sure if it's okay. I know Slap sometimes opens Hodcast and looks if people have buybacks or not. So they should 100% be aware that Imbaboy does not have a buyback, and I'm sorry, Slap. I hope nothing bad comes out of this. But yeah, so they're going for it, and this is going to be thrown. There's nothing they can do. 22 seconds, they can't hold this off.
I'm sitting here
it's just not going to happen.
I'm talking about Mega Creeps, but yeah, you're right. They're going right for the throne, and that makes so much more sense. You see Pebbles, you got to do something, try to hold them off. You can't, though. GG, well played. Sync will be victorious here in this game. What a game. I mean, what was that, 75 minutes about that we had right there of a match, and all the way through, it was pretty tense. 2 Doombringers. I mean, geez, that was an insane finish, as expected. But it came off to the picks. ACX started to kind of group up and push top, but he just died so quickly. I mean, the Doombringer damage. It was just
yeah,
too much.
and Nier actually Storm Spirited himself that fight. I just want to point it out.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nier. I'm sorry. I love you. I think you're amazing on Parasite. I wanted to say it in the early game. His jungle heroes are really good. But yeah, no, he Storm Spirited himself, and who knows? Maybe if that would have hit Imbaboy, he could have popped 2 ultis and they would have won the fight, but
Wow.
he did not. He Storm Spirited himself.
No, that's huge. I'm glad you mentioned
Yeah.
that, because, yes, that sucks for Nier to call him out like that, but that in a game that was so tense and came down to such a crazy finish there, That is a key mistake. That's unfortunate. That whether I wonder if it's because I don't have the replay, unfortunately, but I wonder if it's because it was just too late, or if he just simply misclicked and he had.
I actually don't remember, but I know I saw his parasite in the air, hit by a Storm Spirit, and I can only assume that he was trying to put it on Imba Boy.
Yeah.
Maybe he blinked in and double clicked it. Maybe he couldn't find the hero because there were so many heroes on top of him with all the illusions, etc. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It's a shame.
Especially after you mentioned, I mean, a grind like that, such a crazy game, and then to just come up short and possibly because of a fairly big mistake at the end, that's got to sting a little bit. But in the end, Sync Esports victorious. What a game, though. Like I said, what else is there really to say? We had a bit of time there to talk about it throughout the later part of it. So,
I think there's one thing.
What's that?
There's one thing to say, and it's if you look at the game, I feel like that pause.